All right, well, let's talk about the most important project that you are going to undertake this semester. It is an assignment that you must pass in order to pass college comp, and it's embedded into this assignment are all the most important things that I'm sort of on the hook to teach you this semester. Issues related to of research, argumentation, idea development, citation and formatting. All these things come to bear on your research project. So hence this screencast to introduce it to you. There must be a very major nursing test happening very soon because out in the hallway outside of my office, I can hear the sounds of cramming. So good luck to all those students in the nursing program. So we're going to go a couple of different places here today. We're going to talk about what it means to choose a quality topic, to read up on that topic, make sure you are intelligent about it, can speak intelligently about it, and are able to wade into a conversation that's still being held. You're going to investigate not only the topic, the subject that you choose to write about, but you're going to investigate your own beliefs in some ways. Hopefully you are willing to challenge your beliefs. And then it's going to be time to write. And there it is. There's one exclamation point right there, because you have to take all these things, you have to put them together. So one at a time. Dizzy yet? Okay. Let's talk about your topic first of all. Check my watch like a very unprofessional person. Okay. You need to choose a topic. You can write on anything for this assignment, literally anything. We can find, if you're interested in it, we can find a way to, gussy it up and make it academic enough to be worthy of academic inquiry. Okay, so suggestions, you don't have to, but a topic that you're interested in, that always helps. If you have a intended major that you want to get into, a more serious consideration of, this is a great project to do that with. But choose something that you're interested in, you want to get smarter about, you want to sound intelligent at your dinner table or, at parties, wherever. Pick a topic that you're going to want to spend a lot of time with. Students who choose a topic because they think it's easy, they are on a they have a one-way ticket to burnout. We're going to spend a lot of time on this assignment. So you're going to be spending a lot of time with it. Okay, you probably have an awesome significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It's probably awesome, but there's probably not a whole lot of written testimony about how awesome that your significant other is. So the ergo would make for a very good research essay topic. You have to choose something that is being written about. Obviously, that will make research easier. So I'm going to have a lot to say about this. You know my feelings on fresh thinking, on new ideas, on writing about something that couldn't have been written about a year ago or a couple months ago. Okay, and I don't want the research to be the hard part of this essay. I want the thinking and the argumentation to be I don't even want to say the hard part, the challenging part. So choose something that is being written about. Choose something that is up for grabs. This is important. That's, again, to go into the fresh thinking conversation. When you pick really old, stale topics that have been written about a million times, you aren't really adding anything new or exciting or fresh to that conversation because it's all kind of been settled. The topic's really not up for grabs anymore. This happens all the time with your predictable sort of freshman English type topics. You want to have something that there's a broad spectrum of opinions on, so you can figure out where you fall in that spectrum and advocate for it, and to argue that other people should share your spot along that spectrum. There we go. If you have questions, you can tell I use this presentation in my face-to-face classes as well. If you have questions, email me. Set up a conference with me. So we can talk over the phone. Email is going to be your best bet, though. Choose something that you have an opinion about so that you can develop a clear stance. So I guess I'll get into this with the investigate part a little more. So you want to choose a topic that I approve of, and there's a dumb smiley emoji. Not even emoji, it's just 2 punctuation marks. So I would like to approve your topics. If we, when it comes to topic selection, I'd like, if this were a face-to-face class, I would cancel like a week's worth of classes, and I would have each and every one of you come into my office here. You'd sit right over there, and you would, I don't see my wall, there we go. You would sit right there and you and I would have a conversation about, let me get that ugly mug off the screen. You and I would have a conversation about your topic, about why you're choosing it, what makes you passionate about it, what you already know about it, what you hope to learn what you hope to learn or what you hope to gain by writing about your topic. These things we can still do them in face-to-face context. I can make another classroom visit. We can have phone conversations or video conferences. We can also just do it the more likely ways that we're going to have lots of email conversations, which is awesome. I love getting your emails. I hope you know that by now. Okay, so now it is time to read up. There you are. You're reading up on your topic. You need to be, I don't want, expert is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but you don't need to be an expert on your topic, but you need to be making progress towards that designation, if that makes sense. So your sources, you want to read up on your topic. Get smart about it. Okay, you're going to get smart about whatever you choose to write about. So again, pick something that you want to get smarter about, something that will benefit your life in some way, your career, your intended major, your vocation, something. Okay, you will also get to see what other people are saying about your topic. And there's obvious value in that, I would think, because again, to get back to that spectrum of ideas, you want to see where you fall. Why does my nose always itch when I make screencasts? It's probably because my scumbag brain doesn't want me to touch my nose. Okay, so you're going to consult your digital databases. Academic Search Complete. I believe we still pay for a subscription of Opposing Viewpoints, but that might not be true. I have not checked. I'm not doing my due diligence right now, but we definitely have Academic Search Complete, and you're going to learn plenty about the research process as a result of this project, this class. So you can go to the library. Massillon has a great library up my way. The Jackson Library is very nice. It's a little smaller. Your school has a media center at least, right? And there's digital libraries, of course. Stark State has a digital library. I'm going to pause and scratch my nose. Okay, let's hope that's the last time that happens. So you will consult for sure journals, magazines, and newspapers, and the occasional book might come into play as well. This will be fun. There's your second exclamation point. I love researching. I lived at the library as an undergraduate and especially as a graduate student. I love being around books just as much as I love being in museums. So you're going to use popular sources. I have a lot more to say about this, but those are usually like websites. You're going to have a primary source. That's kind of a cool wrinkle. You can conduct an interview of someone who's qualified to provide a perspective related to your topic. You are allowed to interview somebody. You can conduct an observation of a site to learn from it. You can do your own research. You'll be the primary researcher. You can also pull research that someone else has done in a primary way. Like if you find an interview like on YouTube, or if you find a printed interview, that counts as a primary source as well. A lot more to say on that on a separate screencast. Okay, let's see. So we've done the topic, we've done the read up, and then over here, you're going to investigate. Okay, we're going to talk about this guy here. There's you. Okay, there's maybe don't smoke pipes. You got the hat on. You got the magnifying glass. You got your subject in sight, and now you are really going to inspect it closely and investigate it. And that's going to lead us to academic inquiry. Two very important words. It needs to be academic in the sense that it's rigorous, that there is rigor involved, and you need to inquire. You need to ask questions and actively make progress towards analysis. Okay, through researching your topic, you're going to find something significant to explore. This is my hope. This doesn't always happen, at least if history is any teacher. It doesn't always happen, and it won't always happen in the case of you all, but this makes your essay a lot better if you have something significant. Okay, usually it's like a stat. In the course of research, a statistic may jump out at you, or a report, or an existing law, or a proposed law. It could be a trend, to go back to essay 3, a person, or sort of a text, and that could be the text could be a video game, or a movie, or a book, or anything. Anything can really be a text, website, anything. So 29% of Ohioans are obese according to the Centers for Disease Control. 15% in 1991. So in a generation, we've doubled the amount of Ohioans who are obese. That number in and of itself doesn't mean anything, but if you're me, someone who's tries to be health conscious as much as I'm able, and wants my children to be healthy, and I want you all to be healthy, that number flies out at me. So that would be my something significant. Is, my goodness, 1 out of 3. That's not overweight, people. That's obese. Okay, so that 1 out of 3 Ohioans are obese. I can think of all sorts of dangers associated with that. So it's your job to make that mean something. Okay, so once you find that special something, you have to ask a research question. It's a really important idea, the research question. I want to bounce back to it real quick. I'm here to help you all along the way to develop a clear, focused research question that helps you give your argument some shape. Okay, and this is where you start to give that argument shape, is at the research question phase. So you can ask yourself questions such as these. Who participates in this? What can we learn from this? Where does this happen? So, you know, when you back to the like obesity number, I see like emergency rooms being flooded, or hospitals being flooded with people with preventable illnesses that could have been treated if they had not made lifestyle decisions, or if there had been better education about, say, nutrition. You know what I mean? So think about where your subject or your topic happens. And then my favorite two questions are right down here: why and how. So why does this happen, and how can we address this? So why does this happen? Now, hopefully that sounds familiar from SA3. So what got us here? Where do we go from here? What can we do about it? So the best research projects are probably going to ask those two questions sort of in tandem with each other, in conversation with each other. What got us into this mess? How do we get out of this mess? I think that really lends a nice tactile shape to your argument. Okay, so again, you know me, I like my topics to be nice and narrow, so I will definitely help you narrow down your subject or your research question to something more manageable. The two the easiest ways to do that are by geography. You know, instead of the world, how about America? Instead of America, how about Ohio? Instead of Ohio, how about Stark County? Instead of Stark County, how about Massillon? Okay, and population. So instead of everyone, let's try to divvy up the population in some way, by gender, by age, by race in some cases, by occupation, by sort of maybe like level of vulnerability, that sort of thing. I'm going to go very quickly through this example. So instead of this is an example of a bad research question. What's the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes? Okay, type 2 diabetes is the one that you kind of give yourself through your lifestyle choices. I think 3 out of my 4 grandparents had type 2 diabetes. Why are children being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in record numbers? So what is getting us to this? You think about childhood obesity and what a problem that can be. There's plenty of studies out there that say if you walk into your first day of school as a kindergartner, and if you are X number of pounds, if your BMI is somewhere north of, I think, 38 or 40, your chances of graduating go down. Your chances of being successful and healthy and happy, they plummet. Okay, so how can Ohio work to reduce type 2 diabetes in children? That's a research question in connection with these. These two are, I think, examples of more manageable research questions. Okay, so you will inquire. Now, I'm just going to talk very briefly about the writing part, because we're going to spend weeks and weeks about working with the writing. So if you feel confused, if you're feeling trapped or angry, just very quickly, I'm here to help. This is more for my face-to-face class. So stick around after class. Email me, call me, Skype me. Come to my office hours, set up an appointment. I want you to be happy like my little baby girl. All those days are gone. Let's see. So now I'm just going to rush here. How you answer your research question will lead to your argumentative stance. Okay, you need to, again, that goes back to like that spectrum of ideas. Where do you fall? Don't get. I'm going to go big screen here. Don't get stuck thinking there is like a right way and a wrong way, or which side are you on for a topic. Topics don't have sides. It's never is anything sort of binary and straight down the middle. There are a whole spectrum of opinions people can have on any subject. So don't get stuck thinking that there is this way of thinking and that way of thinking. Which side you got. This is not ESPN2. You're not Skip Bayless. There's a lot more nuance to how arguments actually get made and how perspectives get advanced. Okay, so how you answer your research question will lead to your stance. Your reasons in support of that stance will lead to your claims. So there'd be like your speculations as to why, the steps of your proposal to solve a problem. Those will be called claims. Your textbook has something to say about that as well. Your claims will lead to your paragraphs or to your units. And then your units, your paragraphs will be supported. Okay, and you'll be supported by expert opinion, by stats, by your sources. Okay, and every now and again, not primary research, but like personal experience. Let's see, an example is real and hypothetical. So your stance will create your claims. Your claims will be filled by your supports, your supporting mechanisms, and then it's your job to make these connect to each other, and then come together to connect to your claim, make your claims connect to one another, all in support of a clear stance. All right, so send me your questions. Let me know how things go. Good luck.